Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hey y'all, and welcome to Straight Up with MS and all its crazy little circles here on MS&Me Radio, brought to you by the MS Global Support Network. I'm your host, Patty Long, and you can find me at MSNit for life, and I spell that MSENIT, the number 4 LIFE. I'm so thankful for everybody who listens to my show and who follows me on Twitter. Sometimes I just don't follow back because I don't even really see it, and I don't really get that opportunity to follow people back, and I haven't figured out how to tell even who's following me. There are so many things that my brain just says, you're not going to do that, because it's so confused and mixed up. And here I was in my past life, someone who picked up a new piece of technology, looked at a manual for a second, way back when manuals were around, for memory typewriters even, because I started way back. I'm showing my age again, y'all, but age it helps with experience, and you've done more, you've seen more, so at the same time, my age doesn't really matter. It is actually something that's quite helpful. But that's beside the point. I have totally lost track of what I was saying. Completely. See, my brain is scrambled. But, technology. But yeah, I used to be so good at technology, and starting with this stuff way back when, and every time something new came out, I was mixed up in the middle of it and learning something new, and I taught myself all these different things, and I even taught myself how to write code for macros in Excel and Word and Office products, so that I could automate a 6-hour process and make it take the click of a button and be done in 30 seconds or less. Maybe a minute if it was something really super long that I wrote, and I wrote it in a roundabout way and never shortened it. Because, if it would have took you all day and then you're down to a minute and a half, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Now here's the thing. When you do that, you work yourself right out of a job, So I did that in a lot of jobs. And most of the time I left what I had learned. And I remember one of my last jobs of that variety that I had written code for an automator system in Windows 3.1, and people didn't even know how to use the word at all, and I had written an automator code for it at the company to handle loads and loads of paperwork that they were still typing on a typewriter instead of doing it through the computer system. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is completely awful. And so I set up this automated system. And when I left that job, I deleted the system. And that was kind of petty, but they were really, really, really awful. And they didn't deserve to keep my work. I mean, it was that sort of a situation. And that's kind of the redneck country hippie girl in me. So, and the hippie part's kind of new, but the redneck country is not. And I've always known how to stood up, always known how to stand up for myself. And I've always known how to do it with this very smart alecky sense of humor where I get the last laugh, people. And I always do, And I don't know. It's an attitude. And I think it takes a lot of attitude to deal with the outside world in MS and not give up on the outside world. Because the people in the outside world, the ones who have known you forever, those aren't the people to lean on. Those aren't the people that are going to support you. Those aren't the people that are going to laugh and make you smile even. At least not from my perspective. From the world of MS that I have grown up in, that I have gone through. This world of mine, since we are all different, has been one where those people that I've known forever, those people aren't the ones making me laugh and smile. It's the new people, the people that have met me since all this has happened, who have watched me go from the zombie up in some cases, who have been there as I was going downhill fast and becoming a potato. Yes, my friend Sharon, she used to say that I was turning into a potato and it was happening really fast, and I agreed. My brain function was going rapidly. I could tell it. My ability to carry on a conversation was just crap. And it wasn't, there goes a squirrel anymore. It was way worse than that. And I mean, it had gotten that bad. And then the tumor was removed. And then for a while it was like I was in da land. And everything got slow. And I do mean everything. My thinking was slow. My speaking was slow. I could feel the slow. But then the excitement was there too. And when the excitement was there, then I could talk really fast, but I probably didn't make very much sense at all, because I just talked and talked and talked and talked and laughed and smiled. And Hachi's like, what is going on, Mom? So, your emotions are so tied into things. And keeping that positive, happy emotion, that smile about you, how do you do that? And Hachi, shh, that was just me. Quiet, boy. How do you do that? Well, a lot of it for me is the critters. My dog, who insists there is somebody here, even though it was me getting all goofy with y'all. And, it's been raining and sunny, and I don't really want my dog running outside and getting all muddy and me having to stop and clean him up. So, because he'd want right back in, and I know this. And I'm not able to sit out there because all the chairs are wet. So I'm sitting in the kitchen floor. But anyhow, I have forgotten once again where I was at. My cognitive difficulties. Oh, yeah. There's lots of them. There's tons of them. So I figured, why not talk about all these things on this day when my cognitive functions are coming out in, spades here. I've got them coming out the woodwork. I'm trying to make a list, trying to make a list of all the things that need to go in my suitcases. I shouldn't call them suitcases because neither one of them are suitcases. I have 2 travel backpacks that are the appropriate Aer Lingus JetBlue approved sizes. So let's hope your sizing hasn't changed. But I'm going to fill those suckers full because neither of you all have a weight limit at the current moment. So I am happy for that. And I will pack them as full as I possibly can. So I'm trying to make my list for that and start packing for that because, oh my gosh. Yes, that was me again. Hachi. There's nobody else here. But, so I'm trying to make this list. And I'm getting there, but I am nowhere near finished making this packing list. And I figured I can pack up my winter clothes because, well, I'm going to need my layers when I go to the UK and get on board this ship especially. I am not going to need them anymore here. I think I'm pretty well through with them here, all except for maybe my jacket. And I'll have to pick one jacket to keep out until it's time to go. And that'll be one of the ones that I will wear instead of instead of pack, because I'm allowed to wear one and have it on me. So, and it's got lots of awesome pockets in it, so I can fill my pockets full of little things, So, anyways, I am really looking forward to this trip. But there are still so many things I have to do, and I have less than a month to do them in. And some of them I have to do at the very last minute, which is driving me nuts. Because one of them is printing out tickets. You have to have your boarding passes, and you can't print them until 24 hours before flight time. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So that's going to drive me nuts. So I have to keep that at bay and not allow it to drive me nuts, because it's not time yet for me to even be thinking about it. So that'll go at the bottom of another list. Things I need to do and when, And I'm making these lists because today is that day that my brain is bouncing from point A to point B to point 25, way out in some other realm, back to point 6, to point Z, to point J, to point A. So it's just one of those days. And so I can be really frustrated by it, or I can smile at it And I can laugh at the silliness of bebopping from one thing to another and seemingly accomplishing nothing. But yet, in fact, I really am accomplishing things. I have finished one load of laundry. And I know I have. I'm sitting here looking at it. I haven't gotten it put away because I'm trying to decide which things I can go ahead and pack up. And I have a whole group of winter things that I can pack up now hanging over the back of a chair. So I'm making progress. And that's something I can visually see, those two things. I'm listening to my phone ring, apparently. Okay, there we go. I have a silly ringtone, I know. But I do that because it's funny, boing, boing, boing. And sometimes when things are driving me nuts, I change everybody to going boing, 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 because it kind of makes me laugh. And then I quiet my phone and call them back in a little while if I'm busy. And, right now I'm recording for you guys, so I'm busy. I'm calling you back. But anyways, I make use of this sort of bouncing time to watch videos. I'll watch a how-to video or my GoPro computer app isn't working video, which is what I'm going to do later because I really need to find out why the computer app does not work and why I can't do it any other way. So, anyways, I need to figure that out. And so that goes on a list of things to do over this next month, hopefully. If I can't, then I guess I have to use my phone for everything and make a video and edit it right away and throw it out there on the internet as soon as possible, or transfer it from my phone to the computer later on, because my phone has a 4 gigabyte hard drive. Really, it's old, y'all. 4 gigabytes. That's really old. I might could put a few videos on there though. It's really kind of amusing. So anyways, yeah. So I've got all these little odds and ends going on. And in the meantime, it is warm, sunny, and raining all at the same time. And so I've got heat on my mind. So let me tell you right quick. Most people have heat intolerance only. And when they step out from in an air-conditioned house where it is 70 degrees, okay, and they step out and it's 15 degrees hotter, 20 degrees hotter, okay, whatever that temperature change is, whatever that humidity change is that people talk about. Although I think it is as much the dew point as it is the humidity for me. Maybe more. The dew point makes the air so thick, it's like you just can't breathe and you're going to choke on the air. So, the humidity isn't as bad as the high dew point, in my opinion. But anyhow, if you step out into that heat and you're not prepared to go out into it, it's going to knock your socks off. So what I suggest is, say you're wearing a pair of shorts and a tank top getting ready to go outside and it's 70 something degrees in the house. Put you on a thin light jacket. A thin light jacket. And wear that 10-15 minutes while you're getting all your stuff together and running around. And then as you're thinking to see if you've got everything, put something else on over top of your legs and your jacket. Layer yourself up in these thin layers. Blankets, thin blankets are awesome for this. And I'll just layer myself up in thin blankets. And then as I walk out the door, I peel all those layers off. And then I don't get that smack in the face of the heat. Now, I also take a drink with me. I usually take water that's in a bottle with a lid so nothing can fly into it. And I'll put some lemon juice in it, which I get the concentrate kind because it's hard for me to cut the lemons. So that way there's my daughter. That way, and now I'm distracted again. She's going to be bringing the kids in just a little bit. She's moving away, and she's moving away before I will be going on my trip. She moves away real soon, in like a week, and I am just going to cry my eyes out. But back to the layering up. I layer up before I walk out the door. I drop the layers as I'm getting ready to walk outside, and then I carry with me a water bottle with a lid so bugs don't get in it, and I usually have a couple of drops of lemon juice in it, or else I've got some frozen fruit. I like the berries blend frozen fruit that we actually get at Costco in one of these big bags. And then I have to try and separate it into smaller bags because the big bag is too heavy for me to use. I can't even get it out of the fridge, so it's too heavy. And then I either crush them up and make them into slushies, or all fruit smoothies, or I can just drop them into my water, and then it adds a little flavor to my water, and it makes my water cold. And all of these things are like huge helps for defeating that going out in the heat when you first walk out, and it just feels like it drains you instantly as you walked out the door. And do put layers on slowly. You want to prepare. So if you're going to be leaving the house at 10 o'clock in the morning, you might want to start your prep time at 8 when you wake up. It takes me 2 hours to get ready any day if I've got to leave and do things. So that's why I'm saying 8. But your schedule might not be like mine. And I also have on my phone some tricks for that, where it's a reminder list, And so I check everything off as I go through it, and that's on my phone, and then when everything is checked off, I'm ready to leave. And then after I leave, I can uncheck everything and reset it for the next time, or when I get home or whatever. Everything is speaking to me now. I hope everything is not interfering with y'all. It is 4 o'clock, and like I said, I'm recording a day early because my grandchildren are coming and because my brain is so scattered and flip-floppy. And I want y'all to realize that everybody has these really crappy sort of days. You just can't dwell on the fact that it's a crappy sort of day. You got to find your way. So make your list. Do things differently and don't worry about it. And realize that while nothing is completed, there's tons of stuff started. So you're one step closer to getting something done. So I wanted you to know about that and how I handle it and how I have to keep a smile on my face, and if you need a smile, if you're in need of a smile because you haven't had one in a long time and you are overdue for that smile, then look in the mirror and smile at yourself. And I don't care, maybe you give yourself a sarcastic little smile, and then keep doing it and practice using them muscles and say words that make you smile. There's certain words that like that just sort of put your mouth in the position that's right to smile. And I guess it depends on your accent and all that good stuff. But, force that smile onto your face however you need to. And look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself it's gonna be a great day. I don't care about whatever. MS is not as strong as I am. I am a warrior, or I am an MS superhero, or I am gonna have a great day. So pick yourselves up. Try my suggestion for the heat and let me know. Thanks a lot, guys. My time is way up. I love you. Smile, 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 and love yourselves. Bye.